Hi guys, it's me, Lauren Gill, and welcome back to the channel. I'm so happy that you're here to hang out with me. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and follow. Do all those YouTube-y things down below. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you don't know by the title of this video, we are just jumping into what I plan to pan for 2025. If you are new to the whole world of panning, basically it's just using up products, hitting goals on products, because makeup, beauty, body, skincare, everything under the sun in the beauty world is all technically still considered consumables because they all have some type of expiration date. So it's important to always use up what you have. And if you're someone like me who you have a little bit larger collection, then it's always important to keep in mind what you want to use up to either make room for new or just to get out of your collection in general. So that's what today's video is. And then I'm also gonna go over my like end of year inventory, because it is, when I'm filming this, it's like the middle of December. I don't plan to buy anything else for the year. I've already did all my like final sale shopping stuff of things that I wanted. So with that, I have my numbers in for my inventory for this year going into 2025. So I will also include where I'm at with my products as far as individual categories, and then where I want to be at the end of 2025. So if you're into those kind of videos, you want to see like what I've got going on, my mental notes of everything. You want kind of like a little like foreshadowing for what you'll see next year, then definitely stay tuned, keep watching, and let's just kind of dive on in. Why don't we? I will say I'm not putting up pictures or anything of my product inventory, just because I want to do an actual like solid dedicated makeup collection tour next month. So stay tuned for that. I just felt like adding that like makeup collection situation into this video would be way too long. So I'm gonna go as best as order of operation as possible with what's laid out in front of me. So the first thing is I want to try and do a pan that palette for the Born This Way, the Natural Nudes from Too Faced. The reason I would love to get this used up in my collection, is because it's definitely the oldest palette in my collection. The shimmers don't perform like they used to. They're a lot drier, stiffer, hard to like adhere to the eye. The mattes are still pretty, but also this color story, like if I want neutrals, I want like a true neutral palette. This one's still a little too warm leaning. So for all those reasons, I would love to do a pan that palette, which just means that I am trying to hit pan in all the shades in here, and then I would consider it done. Because there's no way that I would use up all the eyeshadow, because I have a lot of eyeshadow. But if I could at least hit pan in all of them, that would be a win for me. So this is the first thing. I'll go more into detail on like strategy and stuff in my Project Pan intro video. So stay tuned for that. That'll probably go up one of the first like weeks, first couple weeks into January. But this is the first item that I would love to pan on, pan on. That doesn't make sense. The next category is going to be primer. I have 3 that I would like to use up. The first one is going to be my Milani Supercharged. I really do enjoy this. It kind of re-inspired me that drugstore primers aren't that bad. The only reason I want to get it used up is because it's more of like a moisturizer consistency, and I want something that just has a little bit more tack to it. It doesn't replace my Danessa Myricks like serum primer. That one's like superior for me in the wintertime. And I want to get better about not having so much piled in my collection. I think having 2 to 3 primers is like a really good sweet spot for one person, because that means you can have one for like the warmer seasons, one for the cooler seasons, and one for like in between, right? This is just kind of excess in my collection, even though I do enjoy it. The next one's going to be, again, another same reason. It's just excess. The Dr. Brandt Pores No More Luminizing Primer. So this one is a pore focusing in the sense that it's like supposed to minimize pores while also giving like a radiant look to the skin. This is a really nice primer. It's just I'm not into like pore filling primers much anymore. I would love to get this one used up. I got that in Ipsy back when I still had Ipsy. The next one, this is going to be a surprise, but the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Balm in Universal. Again, it's more of that like that blurring sensation for the face. I have the Oil Sucker Primer from One Size, and that works so much better for oil control for me when I do get oily in the summer. So this is one that just that primer has beat this one out. So I would love to get this used up. And then setting sprays, I only have 3 in my collection. All 3 of these I would love to get used up. This one will definitely be gone by the end of the year because I'm literally like here. But it's the e.l.f. Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray. I would love to have that one used up. The Milani Make It Last Dewy. This is a pretty good one too. And then the Milani Make It Last Matte. Again, my sweet spot for setting spray is going to be like 2. And none of these are more superior than the One Size On Till Dawn setting spray if you want a matte setting spray that's holding everything down. And of the Milani setting sprays, I prefer the natural finish one, the one in like the clear bottle, over these. So I'd love to get these all used up, which will definitely happen. It's an easy one to empty. Foundation, I almost had 2. I only have 2 that I'm trying to use up. The first one's going to be the Keys Soul Care. It's like Skin 2-in-1 Concealer and Tint. This is actually a really pretty formulation. This is another one that I had gotten in Ipsy. And this is Shakira. Why was I about to say Shakira Keys? Alicia Keys. This is one from her brand. I really like this. This is very beautiful underneath the eyes as concealer and also as a tint on the face. It's got a little bit more coverage than like your average skin tint, but still very lightweight. I just want to get it used up because it's not something I see myself repurchasing. I think, again, a sweet spot for foundations in your collection is like 3, maybe 4. And I only say that because 1 for like warmer months, that's a little bit more matte if you need more oil control. 1 for winter, that's a little bit more hydrating, more natural on the skin. Maybe like a skin tint if you want light coverage, and then maybe like one that's a little bit more fuller coverage for like events and stuff. But that's like really at most. And this, though I enjoy it, is not something that like would be superior to any of the other ones I have in my collection that fit any of those like categories or purposes for me. So I would love to have this one used up. Enjoy it while I have it, but get it gone. And then the next one is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Longwear Foundation. I love this foundation. The only reason this is in the mix here is because this is the oldest foundation in my collection. And again, going back to the whole, I like to have like one foundation for every season or purpose. I also don't like to have my foundations longer than a year or 2, but that way you like use it one season and then you can use it up the next season. So for instance, I bought this over the summer as a replacement, and then I plan to have it used up by next summer because I'll probably like only use this during the warmer months. And this would be like that focus foundation for me. So for that, I would love to get this used up, but it would definitely be a repurchase. Concealer. I only have 3 in my collection. I have the Natasha Denona one that I'm currently panning just because it's my most used and I would love to use it up and like obviously repurchase it. But I also have 2 others. The One Size, what is this one called? Turn Up the Base. I really enjoy this one. The only reason I want to use it up is because the Natasha Denona one does even better than this one. Though this is a good one, I definitely prefer the full coverageness and hydrating effects of the Natasha Denona one because I don't need both in my collection. This one's more mattifying, which is fine, but it's one of those things where like realistically, how many concealers do you need? Same thing with foundation. For me, concealer is something that I want to work all year long. I want to just have like one staple concealer, and that's Natasha Denona because concealer takes so long to use up. So I would love to get this used up. I appreciate it for what it is, but I have found better. And then same thing with the Makeup by Mario one. This is the Surreal Skin Awakening Concealer. I don't love this as much as I love the Surreal Skin Foundation. That's like my favorite winter foundation. So I don't love this as much. And again, it doesn't surpass the Natasha Denona Formula Powder. I only have 3 that I want to get used up because I have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 others. But the 3 that really don't serve purpose or excess in my collection is going to be the Glowish Powder, which I'm actively panning. I did repress it. I would love to have this used up by the end of the year. But again, there's only like realistically like 2 weeks left in the year. And I don't see that happening. So this is definitely going to be one that's probably going to carry over into January. A dupe for that powder is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. I really, really enjoy this. If you can't afford or justify the price tag of the Hourglass Ambient Lighting powders, because one single powder is like $60. It's a phenomenal formula. But if you can't justify that, then the e.l.f. ones are really, really nice. I just prefer my like glowy powders to be in a compact, because the way that I use glowy powder is just to brighten up the face, and I just prefer something that's in a compact because I don't use it to set my entire face. And then my Franken powder. This is the Lunar Beauty powder mixed with One Size, mixed with Anastasia Beverly Hills. I have about half of it left, so I would love to get this used up, but it's definitely going to carry into 2025. Bronzer. I have 2 powders and 2 creams. So of course, my Natasha Denona Contour Sculpting Powder. This one I'm actively panning right now, and I do have a pan on it. Surprise. Sneak peek for my update. But I would love to get this finished because I don't think you can buy this anymore except from their website, and I feel like it's always on sale when I see it. So I'm curious to know if this is going to get phased out, and then she's going to bring in a new formula, which is even more reason for me to want to get it used up, because if she comes out with a new formula, I would love to try it, but I wouldn't need to buy that if I have this. And then another one's the e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzer. I really like this formula, but it doesn't beat out my Fenty one or my NYX Buttermelt bronzers. Like the NYX one from the drugstore is my favorite, and then the Fenty one, which is like a mid-tier brand, that one's my favorite at that level. I feel like this is a pretty thin pan, so I think I could. We'll see. And then cream bronzers. Of course, we can't not include my well-used, might I add, Franken bronzer. This is a mix of the LYS bronzer stick in Hope, which is the lightest shade, and then the Sephora contour stick in the lightest shade. And then also the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. I recently got this for my full face of e.l.f. and then literally like a month later they came out with their liquid contour and bronzer stick, or liquid contour and bronzer. And I prefer that more. This is definitely something I'll have to focus more on using up in the summertime because it is pretty warm. But yeah, it's a small pot, and I went through this fast when I panned it once before when it first came out. So I would love to just use it up again. Blush. I have a handful of blushes. 4 creams and then 2 powders. We'll see. First one's my Latte Blush. This is an e.l.f. packaging, but it's the Latte Blush from Anastasia. It's just like a really pretty like neutral pink. I would love to get this one used up because it's older. However, I still really love this blush tone, so I'll probably buy it again. But this blush specifically is probably almost over. It's definitely over a year old, and that's disgusting, but I'm still going to try and use it up. And then I'll probably repurchase it as the stick because I haven't found a blush shade that neutral of a pink. And it's truly like a go-to everyday for me. Another one I'd like to use up is also from LYS. This is the shade Focused. This is a really pretty, like, it's described as a warm pink cinnamon or warm cinnamon pink. It's just a really pretty warm pink, and I feel like this is one that I could get away with using every day to get it used up. This is a very emollient formula, so a little bit goes a long way, but it also goes fast at the same time. But I don't think I would buy that again. I don't prefer cream products in a stick form. I like liquid blushes like this, but I also want to get these used up from e.l.f. These are their liquid blushes in the shade Peach Perfect and Dusty Rosé. Not that I wouldn't repurchase them again. I really love these colors for fair skin, but they are my oldest liquid blushes at this point. Yeah, so again, trying to use up older stuff. Not that I won't repurchase it, but just to use up the older stuff in my collection. It might be a reach to try and say I can use up 3 cream blushes or 4 cream liquid blushes in a year, but who knows? I'm feeling ambitious. And then for powder, I did depot a lot of my blushes into here because I wanted just a face palette of all my blushes so they're all in one spot. It can live in my makeup bag and just be done with it. I have one other blush that's not in here that I can't like get out of the packaging, which is fine. I'll just leave it as is. But in here, we have Honeysuckle from KVD, Foxglove from KVD. These 2 are the Bare Minerals bronzers in Kiss of Pink, Kiss of Copper. I just scooped them out and put them in here so I could use them up. These are both from Ofra, but I repressed this one. This is the Fenty Demi Glow highlight that I was using as crumbs in a little container. I just repressed it into here. And then this is NARS Torrid. So my goal is to at least use up 2 blushes in here, which would be this pink and then Kiss of Pink from Bare Minerals. I know I'm moving through this really fast, but it's because I don't want this to be a long video. So, because I'm also not going to lie, I'm filming this on a Thursday and I do want it up on a Friday. So after I'm done with this, I'm immediately going to go into editing because time has gotten away from me this week. Anyways, for highlight, this is again very ambitious, but I would love to use up 3. I go back and forth on this. So this, like I said, was the Fenty highlight. I still have half of the product in the actual packaging, but because it like broke and half of it crumbled, I just repressed it into here instead of repressing the entire like compact. There's a part of me that would love to use this up, and I would just count it as like a half of a product used up. However, I think the oldest highlight in my collection is this Becca one, and the Becca formula, there's just superior technology out there to make a better formula than this. Though it's beautiful, I don't need this one and the Fenty one, and I would love to get this little guy used up. So that's one. And then also the Rare Beauty highlighter in Mesmerize. This one broke and I repressed it in the component. I don't use this specific tone that much. It's more of like a pinky silver, which is pretty. It looks beautiful on my skin, but I prefer something that's a little bit more champagne ivory because it just looks better with my undertones. So it's ambitious to say that I would love to get 2 powder highlights used up, but because this is a mini, I feel like I could do it. And then also, it goes back and forth. I might try and finish up the Becca one, but I also might try to use this one up. It depends pretty much on which one I hit pan on first. I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, and then for liquid or cream, I only have 1 that I'm using up that's in my collection. Technically, there's 2. There's one that I'm mixing into my daily moisturizer for a little bit extra glow, but that one's almost gone, so that's why I'm not including it in the 2025 project. But this is Danessa Myricks, what is this? The Dew Wet Balm in Rose Water. I've got a pretty decent dip going on this. I would love to get this used up because I think I'm just at the point where I don't mind cutting out cream liquid highlight from my routine. And yeah, I just got a lot of highlight going on. A lot. It's bad. The last categories are eye pencils and then lip products. Eye pencils specifically because I have 3 that I would like to get used up. This is from Farrah Beauty, or I think it's Farrah Brushes, but it's their gel eyeliner in Absolute Black. I got this in an Ipsy, and I do enjoy this. This is a really good eyeliner, but I also just got one from Makeup Forever, and I do like that one too. I go back and forth because there's a part of me that prefers a gel over pencil from my waterline, because pencils sometimes I feel like if you sharpen them too much you can literally poke your eye out, whereas this is a little bit more dull of a point. So we'll see. Either way, I own 2 black eyeliners. One way or the other I would like to use one up, whether it's the mini Makeup Forever one that's like this or this one. I'm leaning towards the Makeup Forever one now that I've said it. But anyways, black eyeliners one. While I'm holding it, the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in All Around White. It's just a white liner. I use this one specifically for like my inner corners. Sometimes I like to brighten up like right in here of an eye look with this. But ultimately, I don't, now that I own it, I enjoy it, but I don't need a white eyeliner when I have white eyeshadow, in my opinion. I prefer, in my waterline specifically, I prefer a nude eyeliner. It's a little bit less bright, but still gives brightening to the eye look. It's not as stark, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And then the last one is just this LA Girl Shockwave Metallic Eyeliner. These are pretty good eyeliners, but this isn't a green. It's like a, I don't know, like a forest green almost. I like this pencil, but I have a multi-chrome green eyeliner from ColourPop, and the multi-chrome eyeliners from ColourPop are really good. So as far as colorful eyeliners go, I don't need 2 green ones, so I would like to get one used up, and I prefer the ColourPop one over the LA Girl one. And then the last thing is going to be my lip products. And I'm going to break it up by category. So lip liner, lipstick, lip gloss, lip balm. Those are the 4 for me. So let me jump into that real quick. I'll do lip liner first. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially 6 that I would like to get used up. I say potentially 6 because my little Field Day lip liner from ColourPop this is literally all I have left of it. So if I could get that gone this year, that would be great. That's my goal. But if not, it's going to roll over into next year. And then I have 3 other from ColourPop that's in their old packaging. All 3 of these, I have BFF2, Bumble, and then Bossy. They're just really old. They're the old packaging. Now they have like monochromatic packaging, and I've had these probably for 3 or 4 years. It's disgusting, but I don't remember how long I've had lip liners until I'm actively like using them, because I don't go out and buy new lip liners. I probably wouldn't buy Bossy or BFF2 because I have similar lip liners. This is more of like a rosy pink, the Bumble shade, and then BFF2 is more of like a cooler toned brown. But Bossy is this really pretty red. This one I'd probably buy again because I do think for a red lipstick you should have a solid like red lip liner to go with it. So, but I just would like to buy something in an updated formula, packaging, whatever you want to call it. I just dropped the cap to this one. How cute is that? And then these 2 are actually both from Lunar Beauty. These are really pretty formulas, but they are the lip pencils. It's just what they're called in Doodle and Blushing. And the reason I would get rid of Doodle is, again, because this is more of like a warm rosy pink. I just don't use shades like this. I prefer just a more neutral brown for my pink lip liners. And then this one in the shade Blushing. Yeah, Blushing. It's just a little too bright, warm pink. But it is really pretty used as like a lipstick and then a gloss on top. However, I don't need it in my life as a permanent thing. As far as lipsticks go, this is basically going to be the year of lip products. I'm going to be real with you guys. I have, what, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lipsticks that I want to use up. And the reason I say 9 is because this is actually 4 different ones in one component. I bought this back in 2023 for my honeymoon because I was like, this is so smart to have a little product like this where you have 4 lipsticks in one, so you're not carrying around, you know, all these different little components. This is a really nice formula. I'm not as experimental with my products anymore. I think something happens, the older you get, I guess the less dramatic you are with your makeup, in the sense of like, I'm not wanting to play with a bunch of different color all the time. And I just have come accustomed to, I know that I love a good neutral lip, and that's what I want to put on my lips, because to offset how dramatic I make my eyes. My eyes are always the focus of my makeup looks, no matter what. So my lips are always neutral for the most part because the eyes are so dramatic. And there's this really good method as far as balancing your face. If you do a bold lip, do a simple eye. And if you do a bold eye, do a simple lip. So it's not like 2 bold spots on the face like competing with each other. So for that, I know I love my nudes. And I just have a lot of nudes. So I would love to get this used up. And realistically, I think even with this little guy, I used 2 of the 4 shades. And I have those 2 shades already in my collection in far better formulas. So this is technically 4 that I'd like to use up. But I think I can do it because they're kind of small. Another mini lipstick. This is just Pillow Talk from... I keep dropping everything. This is just Pillow Talk from Charlotte Tilbury. It's just a mini lipstick I had gotten for my birthday. This is a really pretty Your Lips But Better if you have like a more flushed rosy lip like me. But I have a dupe of this from Milani. It's their Fetish Matte Lipsticks in the shade Secret. It's almost spot on. It's a little bit more neutral, but I like it more. So there's that. And then I have 2 from ABH. I just don't like these formulas as much. I have the shade Soft Brown, which is, again, it's just a soft light brown. And then I also have Sunbaked, which is a matte lipstick, but it's more of like a pinky brown. So I think I could get that one gone too, especially in the fall. I say that with confidence, but it's really hard to use up a whole lipstick unless you're using it every day. And then the other one for lipsticks is going to be the e.l.f. lip stain in Pinky Zep. This is a really cute little guy, but I don't know. It's more of just gloss than it is an actual stain. And I just rather use a lip liner to throw on, or like a pigmented lip gloss, honestly. because that wears away really bad. I like the formula and I like it when it's initially on and the way that it wears gracefully. But if I'm being real with my makeup collection and condensing down, it's not something I would rebuy, you know? Like, I'm enjoying it while I have it. Then we get into lip gloss. And again, I'm feeling ambitious. So the first one I'm actively working on right now. The NYX Fat Oil. These are not my favorite formula. They're a little bit more goopy. They got a lot more pigment to them than I prefer. I don't like this shade necessarily. It's in Follow Back, but my friend got it for me and I enjoy it enough that I appreciate her gifting it to me, but not enough to rebuy it for myself. So I'm going to enjoy it while I have it and then move on from it when I don't. Another formula that I'm not a big fan of, I think these are kind of overrated, the Lawless Forget the Filler lip glosses. During the Sephora sale, I bought a trio of them, like a mini trio, to try them out because people said that they're very comparable to the Buxom lip glosses, which I love those. These aren't as good in my opinion. I like the Buxom formula more. But there is Rosy Outlook, which is just like a sheer color, basically clear. Melrose has a little bit of like a sparkle to it. And then Bitten is more of like an opaque, like rosy pink. They're minis. I think I can get them used up if I'm diligent about it, but I don't think I would buy them again, which is why I want them gone. And then to turn around, the Buxom Plump Shots. These are a really good formula. So when you are doing plumping, there's like two sensations. There's like a cooling sensation, like a menthol, and then there's like a warming sensation that's a little bit more spice heat. The Plump Shots have more of like a spicy heat sensation, but the full-on lip polishes from Buxom, those have more of that cooling sensation, and I prefer that formula more than this one. And most of these shades, I think you can find exact versions of and like the exact shade names in the full-on lip plumping polish formula, which is cooling, that I like more. So for that, I still would buy the shades. I have Dolly Babe, Plush Peach, and then Exposed, which is like a nude, and then Dolly's more of like a pink. These are like my 3 signature glosses, like gloss colors that I use, unless there's a sparkle. These don't have sparkle to them. They're more of an opaque formula, but I would just rebuy them in the other formula that I like more. So I would like to get these used up and just replace them with the other formula. And then the last for lip gloss is going to be this e.l.f. Pout Clout Lip Plumping Pen. Again, more of a cooling sensation. This is cute, just I don't need it in my life once I use it up. And then the e.l.f. O-Face Shimmer Balm. I really like this little guy. It's cute. This is one that like I might repurchase again in the future. I don't know. It depends on if I get sick of it. But I bought it for that full face of e.l.f. to try. I do enjoy it. I only use it really for when I'm doing my makeup at my desk. And I want something a little bit longer lasting on the lips, more conditioning or nourishing than this little guy, but it's a cute little gimmick, I'm not gonna lie. And then the last thing for this portion of the video, lip balm. I only have technically 2 that I want to get through because the first one's the LYS Speak Love Glossy Lip Treatment Oil. I'm gonna have this done by the end of the year, so I'm not including that one. But I would love to get, once I'm done with that, I would love to use up this one. This is the Plush Pudding Intensive Recovery Lip Mask from Fenty Skin. This is in the shade Salted Caramel, or the flavor Salted Caramel. This is terrible. The formula is amazing. I love the formula. I have another one in Warm Cinnamon, which is just like a sugary taste. The Salted Caramel didn't hit. It tastes very artificial sugar, and it's not good. It's not giving salted caramel. I'm gonna use it at like my bedside table, which is where I usually use lip balm. So that's what I'm gonna try and use up in the winter. And then I have this one, the Milani Fruit Fetish lip balm in Strawberry Lemonade. I really like this little guy. It does taste and smell just like strawberry lemonade, or more just pink lemonade. And it's really fun. I have a hard time with very flavored lip balms because I get tired of the flavor. And lip balm is definitely something I put on religiously before bed. It's a staple in my nighttime routine. I don't know, maybe I like this formula, so maybe I'd like a different flavor because this one's very potent. But this also has a pretty pink base, so it's hard for me to always want to put that on my lips. And that completes this part of the video, which is all of my product pan potentials, basically. Let's quickly go through product inventory my goals and stuff, and then we'll just wrap up. I have a notebook going, and look how cute this is. Also, I'm tired of notebooks. I'm very much with a lot of people where I'm tired of my notebook saying what it is. We don't need it to tell me it's a journal, or in this case, a notebook. I just want another cute flower to go right there. But look how cute this is. I got this at Target for like $8. But anyways, besides the point, my 2025 makeup inventory. So the way I have it displayed out is I have the category, the goal by the end of the year, and then I said January, but technically December's count. And then I do another one in June for the middle of the month to kind of re-solidify the numbers for me. And then December as well will be the final. And then I compare December to the goal that I set for this time. For January, I have 23 eyeshadow palettes, which is really good. I did really good at condensing down my eyeshadow palette collection because at the beginning of last year, I felt like I had almost 40. So I've definitely condensed it down. I said 30 is my limit for next year, and that's because I'm probably gonna buy 2 or 3 palettes, and then I left some room for in case I either get them as gifts or someone just gives me old makeup. So I left a little bit of room because eyeshadow is definitely a weakness for me. But again, it's like a focal point for every makeup look, so that's why it's like my favorite part. The goal is 30. Right now I have 23. Eyeshadow singles, so individual eyeshadows, I have 9. And I'm allowing myself to have a goal of 10, so I have room to buy 1 more or just receive 1 more. Powder bronzer, I currently have 6. My eyeball itches, hold on. Okay. I currently have 6, but I hope to only have 5 by the end of the year. That's because I'm trying to be realistic with my goal and say I could practically use up 1. It'd be great if I used up both the Natasha Denona and the e.l.f. one next year. But if not, I'd still be happy to just get through the Natasha Denona one. And I told myself I'm really not trying to buy bronzer next year. Powder blush, I have 11. I would like to only have 10. And that's just saying that I've used 1 up. It'd be great if I used 2 up and then maybe I buy another one. But I would love my limit to be 10. Powder highlights, I have 9. I would like to have 8. Meaning that I use 1 up. Because I'm trying not to buy highlight next year. Cream bronzer, I have 4. I would love to have 2. Basically being like the e.l.f. contour and then the Rare Beauty bronzer stick. Those are like my favorite 2. Cream blush, I have 12. I would like to have 10. So that means I use up 2. Again, I'm not trying to buy cream blush because I have 12. That's a lot of blush. Cream highlight, I have 3. I would like to get down to 1. I would love to use up the Danessa Myricks one, the one Rare Beauty mini that I'm mixing into my moisturizer, and then I would love to only have the Halo Glow from e.l.f. Setting spray, I have 3. I would like to get it down to 1. Primers, I have 6. I would like to have 3. Again, going back to like having 1 per, like 1 for cold months, 1 for warmer months, and then 1 kind of like in between. Foundation, I have 7. I would like to get it down to 4, meaning I have 1 for winter, 1 for summer, 1 for in between, and then like 1 everyday one. Concealer, I have 3. I'd like to have 2. Eyebrows, I have 3 eyebrow products. I don't want any more. I have 3. My goal is 3. Mascara, I currently have 4. I would like to only have 2. I think it's crazy to have more than like 2 or 3 open at one time. Eyeliner, I have 11. I would like to have 8, meaning that I use up 3 that I talked about. Lip gloss, I have 15. 15 lip glosses. I would like to have 8, meaning I used up the ones I talked about. Lipstick, I have 20. I'd like to have 15. Again, using up the ones that I talked about. Lip balm, I have 5. I'd like to only have 2. So, my miscellaneous is really weird because I didn't know where to put these. I currently have 2 items. I'm allowing myself 5 just in case something else comes into my collection and I don't know where to place it on the list. But the 2 that I currently have is the LA Girl Pro Color Foundation Mixing Pigment. It's just a blue pigment that you can mix into foundations to neutralize them. A lot of times when I buy foundation, I buy a neutral shade, but sometimes they can be too yellow. So I have this blue pigment to like offset some of that yellow on an as needed basis. So that's why it's not a foundation. It's just random, but I do use it. So that's one thing I'm allowing myself to have. Obviously, it serves a purpose. And then this Fenty lip scrub. I definitely like having a lip scrub at all times. This is just the one that I currently have. I always have it at my desk because I lip scrub, then I put my lip balm on, and then I do my makeup. So, allowing myself 2 because I own 2 items, and then 5 in case something else comes into the mix. Powders. I have 6 powders, including setting powder, or loose and compacts. I would like to get it down to 4. Use up the 2 that I told you about. Lip liner. I have 16 lip liners. That's a lot. I would like to get it down to 10. Which I feel like is pretty ambitious. A lot of times I do use lip liner as lipstick because I got little white people baby lips. So I can use lip liner as lipstick and be just fine. So I feel like if I do it that way and use that as a strategy, I could get it done. But we'll see. So those are my goals for my inventory for next year and kind of where I'm at now. Again, I will show you guys a like a collection tour situation sometime at the beginning of next year, so definitely stay tuned for that. I just haven't figured out how I want to film it yet. We're gonna wrap up now because this is probably longer than I wanted it to be. Okay, so here we are. We made it to the end. If you stuck around until now, thank you. Again, I always appreciate it. But don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. Do all those things down below because it does really help me out. I'm just grateful. I think I'm at 122 subscribers, and this is like, it's funny because I'm like happy about it. But there's people that have subscribed that I've never met before, because usually they say the first like 200 subscribers you have are typically like friends and family or some kind of association to people that you know. But there's people that have subscribed that I've never met before. So thank you. Thank you for like thinking I'm like cool enough to watch and listen to. And I hope that at the end of the day, I'm just relatable. And I just thank you for being here at the end of the day. Yeah. Hopefully this video was interesting and it kind of like sparks maybe like you going through your inventory, and it doesn't have to be makeup. It can be skincare, body care, just stuff around the house, and just seeing like what you have and what you could use up practically for the next year. It just kind of re-inspires me that you don't need to buy stuff, Lauren. You got enough. Long story short, thank you for hanging out with me. If you find this interesting, let me know down below. Let me know if there's anything you want to see specifically, maybe a video like using these products, or I know I'm gonna do next week, I want to do like a full face of my 2024 year-end faves. We'll see if I do it like that or if I just talk about the product. I'm gonna wrap this up. So, I hope you have a great day, night, whenever you're watching this, and I hope to see you in another one. So bye!